I wanted to tell everybody that today I had a beautiful day. I had some stuff going on, and it's really something else to be involved in something that the Lord puts in your life and in your path. And then you find out that you're not just learning for yourself. You know, I had a real deep conversation with my brother-in-law earlier this morning, and we were talking about egos and recognizing what your role is. And it's really powerful when you have two men that are voicing their ideas and they're looking at the same thing but from different angles, gaining different viewpoints. No people are alike, that are individually and specially designed by the Most High, the big G, the big O, the big D. And my sister, we had a really deep conversation, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, if you can't get along with family, that can cause some serious issues. But what I find out is that the Lord puts the very people in your circle that you can learn the most from. But the main thing I'm learning is the greatest thing that you can give a family member is love and understanding and an open ear, and to recognize that what you need to be working on, you need to be working on that. And to recognize that that family member is worth it. And I'm beginning to find out that I know things could be worse sometimes, but it's like when you give your problems to the Lord, what he does is he precedes you and he puts in your head, which forms out of your lips, what you need to say if only you will believe in him. So in a minute, even with maybe some of my students, because I may not have a great deal, they're going to look at these videos and they're going to learn from them, because I'm really learning really what it takes to take it to the next level and to come back like the prodigal son. And you're really there for your family no matter what happens and no matter how tough that it gets. And at the end of the day, you're just so thankful to the Most High working himself within you. In other words, it's like when the Most High is working, it always precedes you and he makes things right, because he knows what you need even before you ask for it, but he needs you to ask it because he also gave you free will. So let me get to the reading. This is reading number 7. Points to remember. In the meantime of learning this information, you must go step by step. There is no easy, quick road to anything worthwhile. Take from this the first chapter, the principal points covered, and record them indelibly. That means like how you have a piece of gold and someone imprints 99.9. It's like that in your memory. And what you need to implant are these aspects of mind. Number 1, there is a power greater than you are, which you can use to make your life vibrant, successful, and happy. Number 2, this power is the universal creative mind, the subconscious mind, and you are using it now. You just can't help using it. Number 3, all of us live and move and have our being in the great intelligence that makes up the universe and the world. 4, this universal mind is responsive to thought. It creates what is projected upon it. Let me say it again. This universal mind is responsive to thought. it creates what is projected into it, and it's around you at all times. And quite often, it is your thought that creates your reality. And of course, attitude. 5. The reason our conscious desires do not always manifest themselves in reality is twofold. Number 1, we are not projecting our thoughts with conviction. Number 2, there are prompters in the subconscious mind which cause our thinking to go astray. And there are 2 types of prompters. There's a negative prompter and there is a positive prompter. But if what you learn ahead of time is negative, which that's how many people learn, then the negative will be a very high degree, over 51%, that will project your inner self outwardly even before you walk into it. Number 6, the prompters in the subconscious mind make up the lock, which bars us from proper use of the great power of the infinite. 7, these prompters are rejections of the conscious mind buried in the subconscious and long forgotten. They are primarily pain experiences and thus are primarily negative, attracting and creating lack and limitation and disease and unhappiness, when in fact we live in the exact opposite based on your perspective and your attitude. We live in a world of abundance, and we live, but some of us don't know that our Father can only manifest love through us if we will only recognize that He has always been there and that we ignored the power that we were born with. This lock, these prompters, can be removed by understanding, studying, and application of the great laws of spirit. That's what I'm doing right now. So there was something else that I wanted to speak on, and I'm always thinking about this after the fact, and that is, I don't mean to come off as arrogant and or like conceited or stuck on myself, but the way I see it is, it's like you playing for the Lakers and you got LeBron and AD and you got your guards, and they depend on you to defend the offensive yet score in the offensive based on what you bring. So that's how I see it. In the world, I see myself as an athlete, and I have to perform, and must be confident. And there was a time when I was not confident. There was a time when I didn't really understand. And now it's like, obviously, whoever does get this information is definitely going to transform their lives. Because what I've already made up my mind to do, and that's why I'm making these videos. 1 video a day, 365 days in a year. Now, the day I was held up, but it was a good reason why, where sometimes it'll be 2 a day, but I'm going to average at least 1. And I'm not going to be talking no foolishness. The bottom line is, I want somebody to get this and see that it's out there. No cursing, no disrespect to nobody, not putting nobody down, the whole 9. And what I intend to do as I'm doing these videos is that I'm living a vision and a dream that I never thought that it will happen. So my story is going to eventually come out because I need to be visible, but I don't need to be visible stupid. I don't need to be where I don't need to be at. I don't need to be someplace where I know somebody is going to be like, yo, we can get them now. That don't make no sense. Not at all. Because I want to be one of the ones who made it. And one of the ways that I can, how can I say, increase my stock to myself is that I ask my Father for greater understanding in all my getting, study Him, and be an obedient son to the greatest power beyond the earth, beyond the solar systems, and beyond all planets. Because that's what I practice. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no reason like joking. Like, I got people in my family and I'm just figuring this out, but I didn't really understand that they depended upon me. They depended upon me to say that, my peoples, like, they came back and they did what they were supposed to do. I mean, I'm still learning humility in terms of like doing what I do and giving it to God, and then like chilling, not really saying too much. You know what I'm saying? I had a very pronounced speech impediment. I had a stutter. Had asthma real bad, and so there were a lot of things closed to me. So when I learned to speak as fluently as I'm speaking now, and then the next levels that I can take it to, it was very tough, being clowned and carried a certain way, especially you in school. Plus, I have a military background, so every time I would make a friend, you know what I'm saying, we would have to move. It wasn't, let me put it like this. Do I consider myself potentially a super warrior? Yeah. Yeah. You see, what I learned the hard way is this. Even if I take it to a certain level, and I got a plan how I'm going to do it, even if I just make sure that it happened now, 500 young men and 500 young ladies, and then step back. And I know I did it. I did it. I did it. Because see, my thing is like this. The students that I'm going to be dealing with, it must be understood that you must give back. It must be understood that you're the first to lay it down, that the ancient books said we was coming. And we here now, because I'm part of that. I want to be some place in the presence of young people, and the streets ain't totally took them, because like I know how to handle that, you know what I'm saying? But see, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm at the level now where I let God handle my enemies and make them my footstool. Like, I ain't got to do nothing now, because now I know. You know what I'm saying? But I would love to be in a situation where, like young people's like, yo, who's that, man? Like, what they doing? Like, like you think I can get with that? And, you know what I'm saying? And I know every trick. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a school teacher and don't know like stuff that's not even in the book. Like, or at least where I was taught and where I had to teach at, if you couldn't handle yourself, you had a problem. For real. Like every day. And the kids that I taught, they were, I won't call them, well, let me put it like this. Every young person is a masterpiece. Every young person has a spiritual ability that no one else can duplicate. Every young person is worth putting that time in. But see, what I found out with a lot of young people is go down like this here, right? They say not only must you be the message that you bring, but you got to walk the talk. That way when they bring it to you, you be like, nope, wrong move. We're going to play imaginary chess. Because you need to know who you're dealing with. I learned the hard way that a real master always teaches only 9/10 of what they know. Because a student going to try you. They're going to be like, yo, hold up, yo, you're too old. You don't know nothing. Plus, I'm going to take your car. Where your car keys at? Yeah. And then we're going to go to all the AMTs and we're going to withdraw every single thing. Plus, what you got on, I like. Take it off. See? That's what I'm used to dealing with. Peace and blessings. I'm going to make another video tomorrow, and I will continue with the read.